Yeah, you probably can still sit on a dining chair. Again, as long as you've got the pedals and everything set up solidly in a solid sort of position, maybe on a piece of plywood that goes under the chair that is sort of mounted to the chair, so that again, when you push the pedals, you're not going to have the pedals moving. The pedals are the key element, both in a real-world car as well as in a sim. If your pedals have got any play in them or don't have that feel, or your brake pedal hasn't got any sort of that feedback you're looking for from giving you that feel of retardation and pressure on the pedal, it's going to be impossible to really get any value out of it. It shouldn't be a light switch on and off. And likewise with the throttle pedal, it needs to be progressive and feed it in, feed it out sort of thing. So as long as you can get that set up, really whatever chair you're sitting in, as long as it's comfortable and you can sit in it for a relatively long time, because I think that's the other thing about a sim, is it gives you the opportunity of being able to get in there and develop some repetition and consistency. And so you should be looking at sitting in there for a relatively long time, and you need to be able to do that comfortably so that you're not trying to move yourself around and, again, you're taking away opportunities of replicating a real world setup. When you're moving yourself around too often, you want to try to make it as real world as possible. Obviously at the very high end there are sim setups where the drivers are, it's full on like a race car setup inside, whether that's a supercar or whether that's a formula car, and they've got the cockpit to match the environment they would be driving in the world. They'd also be wearing their race suit, their race shoes and their helmet, and I know that at the very high level the helmet is required because of safety, because of the power of the sim and on moving axis and all that sort of stuff, hydraulic rams and things, and drivers have been knocked out when they've had an incident. The sim replicates the crash and has with the helmet on even knocked them out. So in some cases the drivers will put the helmet and stuff on to help, not just for safety, but to help replicate the real world as well. And that's that's the immersion that you're trying to achieve. Certainly when you're at home, you just want to do it for fun, just get in and drive it, that's fun. But if you're really looking to improve and take your driving to a certain level, then you may need to be looking at that full immersion and helmets and all the rest of it to replicate that as well. It can look a bit silly, your wife walks in on you while you're wearing a helmet sitting in front of the computer screen.